Hey, you guys. Welcome to another amazing Talkers versus Doers. We are coming off the last episode. Man, it was just fire. We just wanted to give y'all a taste bud of what we're doing, gathering, going into the new year. And I know I got stopped in my tracks with a lot of stuff from Coach Mike because I talk about real stuff. And I try to relate as humans to other people as a human. So it was a lot of stuff on there that we kind of talked about, but we finna put a little seasoning on it since it's the holiday season. Ooh, got you. Pow. And talk more about it. But I am your girl, Coach Perry, aka Coach Perry speaks and talks about everything. And this is my right hand, my boy.
Coach Mike James in the building. What's up, y'all? Beautiful people. I am excited. This is good. If you haven't caught the last episode, when you finish this, go back and do it because just what we were talking about was so dope. Um, and a perfect bridge to this. And Coach, listen, you bringing it together so nice. You were just talking about that idea too of the seasoning on it, right? And how we talking about people and connection and all of that. So yeah, it's really dope what we've started our kicking back off with some episodes with, and I'm excited for this one today. So
Yeah.
let's get it.
Okay, you guys. So in the last one, we kind of talk about your GPS. That sometimes you got to redirect, you got to reroute. But in between that redirection, you're going to experience different things that is going to include the most important is growth. Because as Mike said on the last one, if you ain't growing, then you dead. And that was one of my biggest thing of a lot of recapping. And the last one I talked about not once but twice of me having to reroute. Even though I had that GPS on, I had to reroute. And also one of the great gems Coach Mike talked about too is rerouting means although you got people and things around you, you guys can both be going into the same direction but different destinations. I'm like, man, getting networks and groups has been so amazing. That has brought me out so much this year, Mike, of just networking and getting around like minded people. But also the thing that I had to watch too, because I was getting around those like minded people, a lot of them want to exert what are their beliefs, their thoughts, and their directions for me. And that had me to have to reevaluate myself because I'm like, wow, these are some amazing people.
Hmm.
Good people, shall I say, some of them kind of talk peers and mentors. Hey, you should be doing this and that. And I'm like, yeah, they're so successful at what they're doing. But as you mentioned on the last one, they're successful in their destination, not mine. So mine is not supposed to look like them. It would not look like them. And it was at some points I was trying to do several different things here and there that I got caught up because other people were saying you are great at that. But I had to redirect myself and say, yes, I'm great. I know I am. But what
Period.
period focus on? What are the great areas that I need to be doing now? So I had to redirect. So just your thoughts about that, Mike, because so many of us, especially new entrepreneurs, you guys are getting in groups or will get into groups and network and start listening to various people. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's what you said, right? It's the idea we talked about in the last episode of reconnecting, right? And it's okay to reconnect, to redirect. As we are possibly going in the same direction, we have a different destination. And so
Yeah.
as you are connecting with groups in this new year, you connecting with groups and networking and all of that, it's just a matter of knowing first, and you mentioned this last time, right, Coach, is know your goals.
Yeah.
What are those things? Your destination, your destiny. What is it for you? Because it's great to connect. And y'all know, I always call it your web because you're intertwined, right? You're always connected in different spots. It's going to be different people doing different things. Know how to use your people. Because
Right.
some people, oh man, listen, I, it's just been some great things going on for me, closing out 2022. And one of the things I just did recently was an interview. And the thing the person said was figuring out the box. You know how we always say, think outside the box,
Yeah.
get outside the box. And this person mentioned actually finding the box and being able to put people in their correct box.
Mm.
Because everybody, you can't be everything to everybody, and everybody
Right.
can't be everything to you.
Right.
So
Most
find a
definitely.
box and put the people in the right box where they need to be. That's the biggest thing about
Yeah.
it. And as we're talking about growth, it's important for us to be able to make that distinction because
Mhm.
one of the things that can happen, right, coach, is as we're taking on so much other thoughts and opinions, sometimes it can stalemate growth and we can be stagnant
Mm.
because we're looking at so much of what they're doing. Listen, y'all, come in closer, come in closer. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody you see out there, guess what? It's a struggle they have too.
Yes.
Maybe that person that you see all the time in front of you speaking and all this stuff, maybe they are frightened and terrified of speaking. Maybe that person that you see with a million followers, maybe when they log off and get away from the million followers, they're lonely. Maybe that person that you think have all this stuff and all that stuff, maybe they're struggling to figure out how they're going to pay the next bill. So focus on you, because when you start comparing, we know the saying, comparison is the thief of joy. And
Yes.
you got too much to be joyful about. Listen, stop
All
me,
day.
coach.
All day.
Stop me.
All day. Most definitely. I love it. I love it, Mike. That biggest word, like you said, that comparison, man, that comparison hurts so many of us because we go in
Mhm.
comparison our day one and day 100 to somebody else 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And then we're expecting that same goal and that same mindset of success that you see them with, but you don't know what they did in between that day one to day two or that day 1 to 2 years. So now we're
Mhm.
comparing saying why we're not there, but we don't know the help they had. Like you said, we
Right.
don't know the insecurities, the depression, and the things behind doors that they went. Because with everything in life takes sacrifices, and there are going to be situations that lead up to your growth. I mean, things are going to come. Unfortunately, social media is the biggest, I say telltale for entrepreneurs and business. It helps out because it helps flows. But when it comes to real life situations, it hurts because we
Yeah.
only see that upside. Nobody see that downside of things that goes on. And Lord behold, that goes to the star that was on Ellen show, the DJ of you never know what a person is actually going, and I always say growing through at their time. We just see the success. But it's paths, it's relays, it's the GPS as we've talked about, getting out of direction as you go to that area. So you got to know you and what you can do. And I love what you said about that box with the other person. That's always been my thing. Is so much that I'm talking when I'm telling clients and everything is you have to continue to reevaluate the people within your circle, as you say, within your will. You have to, because it's people and things as season go, they have to go to. It's
Mm.
people and things as you grow, they're not going to understand your growth. So they're going to hinder you. And some of them don't do it on purpose. They're just scared to lose you because they know you're going to a next level that they're afraid to grow to. But you got to learn to let go. And those were some of the things and peers that I had to say, you know what? Look, is it really serving me purpose? It even went to, I was going through my phone and text message. Mike was like, look, does this conversation serve me purpose? Delete. Are they actually depositing or withdrawing from me? Delete. Like everything now in my life is focused on us both putting deposits in each other. So when I'm doing anything with anybody, it's like, how can I deposit in you and you deposit in me as well? Like, how
Yeah.
can we go together in a mutual way? Because what happened is when you're just going, you're just connecting to people, like you said earlier, you're just getting all these thoughts and ideas that can hinder your growth. And those were some of the things with some of the mentors and coaches was telling me, hey, you need to be in this field, you need to be in that field. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, that's good. But then I'm also going back because I'm that person. Psychology is a major of mine. I'm looking into your information, your social media. You didn't go that route though. You didn't do that. So you're telling me things, which is cool, but you never experienced that. So how can you tell me? Even though you're making more money than me, we're still both really in the same direction. I just have a different destination that you've already reached your first destination. I'm reaching mine too, but I can't take all the advice from you. And that's one of the biggest things too, just your
Boom.
Coach Mike, about, I'm sure when you're talking to your clients and everything, what are your thoughts about you can't really take advice from everybody?
Yeah, and the thing is, right, this came up in um Erica, as you know, I'm a facilitator for Certified Life Coach Institute, and in my last class, this came up. A coach that was taking the class
Mm,
mentioned this, and I was like, "Whoa!" It floored me because one of the things we talk about in coaching a lot, right, is managing that fixer. The
mhm.
idea of a lot of people, we just have that innate fixer in us, where we want to fix it.
Yeah,
Somebody tells you a problem, we want to go to, okay,
I
well,
got it.
do this, try that. So the coach said this, and it stuck with me so much.
Mm,
They said, advice not requested is abuse. And
wow.
I was like, whoa. And then they broke it down because you don't know the person's situation. I don't know what you're going through. Erica, for me to give you advice when you didn't come to me and ask me for advice,
Mm,
what I'm doing is now taking the power away from you
yeah.
to see what it is that you need, right? And I'm also making a big assumption. And you know what they say about assuming,
Mhm.
you make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah,
So I'm assuming that you want to hear what I would do if I were you.
yeah,
So it's important to first slow down, right? I always talk about how important that breath is. It's at first important to slow down and check into, okay, what is this person wanting? Do they want just a listening ear? Do they want advice? Because if they ask, okay, for advice, now I can go in that direction. But back to the question, taking advice from everybody, sure, but you better know what to do with it,
mm.
because some advice will stretch you so thin to where you're further than where you started from.
Ooh, look, that's Coach Mike.
Slingshot effect is okay. Slingshot effect is
Mm,
okay, right? That slingshot effect is when you're pulled back to be thrust forward. And
yeah,
the further you pull back, the further you can go. That's how a slingshot works. However, when you receive so much advice, people tell you, you got to do this. You got to post 17 times a day. You got to do
yeah.
this and you got to do that. And you got to do this meeting, that meeting. But guess what? You don't want that string to pop. And now you flat on the ground. You
Mhm.
have no momentum. So tap into you, get inward. What did we say last time, right? Going back inward,
Yeah,
reconnecting to that GPS. Part two, right? 2.0, reconnect to that GPS. See what works for you and what things mean for you. It's okay to get the advice. It's okay to have those silent mentors that don't even know you're watching them, who have millions of followers and they're best-selling authors. That's okay. But then take all that information, write it down, and then create your plan.
yeah.
Create your plan and commit to the consistency of seeing that plan come into fruition.
No, I love it. I love it. I love that you hit on having those solid mentors. I love that one right there that you have and you see. It's okay. It's great to have those, but also
Hmm.
understanding that advice that you're gaining and you're getting from them, as Mike said, write it down, because
Yeah.
those are now different destinations and directions you need to go. One of the great things was always reading up and listening to some of the things and heard people talking about that was that we sometimes go looking into these high millionaires and everything that are doing different things in our area and taking advice from them, and we ain't even got the small advice, the starting advice.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, it's okay to listen to them, but taking that advice in the time frame that you're in, that's when it comes to growth and understanding who you are and knowing that you can't go from A to Z. I know a lot of people say it. For the ones that have accomplished that, you guys are amazing. I've been to some amazing conference when they say, "Hey, you come here today, we're gonna have you like this." I haven't did it yet. I guess my destination and my direction is a little different right now, but I'm getting there.
Right.
However, just thinking you're gonna jump through all these hoops because of that. It's some big real estate people, because y'all know I have an aspect in real estate saying, hey, don't buy houses, just rent, just do Airbnb. But they $1 billion houses. So you got to watch who you're talking to and also getting advice from, because they're telling you something because that is their sales rep. Once again, as we said, social media is so much of the up. They're telling you their sales rep. Don't do that. Houses you shouldn't invest in. But you got a boathouse too that you bought. You shouldn't do that coaching program. You shouldn't do that speaking
Whew.
program. But you, oh, okay. Go ahead,
Mm.
Mike. Go ahead.
Coach, I just got a divine, I call it divine download. You mentioned the up, right?
Hmm.
And in the process, when you're listening to advice and all the people telling you what you should do this, should do that. But what happens is now you are, first of all, jumping outside of your lane and
Mm,
you trying to get in somebody else's car.
yeah.
Because if when you're so worried about the up process, right,
Mm,
you are defying the laws of nature and what happens. What do I mean by that? Coach Mike, what the hell are you talking about? A seed. When you take a seed and you plant it, right, there are some steps that has to happen. That has to happen. You don't drop the seed in there and all of a sudden, boom, beautiful flower. No, that seed, you drop it in the ground, you bury it, the down phase, you water it. It has to get the proper lighting. All that photosynthesis stuff happens. And
good
guess what? It goes down first. The roots has to be established. The year, the 5 years, the 10 years that it takes for you to get to
stuff.
your place, that's you planting those roots deep in the ground to set the foundation. And guess what? What's the hardest part of that seed is when now it set the roots down and it's got to break through ground for you to see that beautiful blossom. So
Mhm.
right now you may be at the part you may be at the place where you're being buried right now. You're being
Come on,
buried
then.
with all the dirt and the sand and the people telling
Yes.
you this and that, and it's overwhelming. You may
Mhm,
be in that
mhm.
season of pressure, pressure,
Yeah,
under pressure, season of depression. You may be in that season, but guess what?
yeah.
Just know that you are following the phases, the laws of nature, that you got to set those roots first in order for you to break through ground. And now we see the beautiful blossom that
Right.
you are. So
I
all
love
these people, y'all better stop looking at these flowers and
it.
start looking at where you are in your process.
Cause you gonna definitely have to grow. I love it. I love it. My thinking of myself, that beautiful flower and everything just blossom and go.
Boom,
But no,
blossom,
I love it. I love it
blossom.
what you said, Mike, of just giving that straight, picture of that, of dropping that seed in there and letting them know that you're in your area of where you need to be at.
Hmm.
Things that we talk about always, I push that of being real. We can't tell you things other than the things that we have gone or growing through. And as Mike said on the other one, the last one we ended was we're constantly growing though. So we're constantly going through something. Growth is something that is not an option. It must happen. Either that growth becomes where you're growing and you're getting better and you're understanding, or the growth where you're losing things because you're not willing to actually step outside of that box in that area. So
Mm,
it's still going to be some part of growth, good growth or bad growth, that you're going to end up assuming in you. But the thing is, as you grow, implement those things. One of the biggest things that I've learned going into conference and stuff, you can gain all the knowledge. As they say, knowledge is power, but it's useless if you're not implementing. It's
mm,
useless if you're not using those pains that you had to go to the next level. It's useless. So much of that I had to learn I had to grow in areas. Man, I am so great that I'm at that area of my life now that I can say no. I didn't understand no.
mm,
I didn't want to say no. And even though I'm in that area of my life financially, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm going in that area. I'm still saying no to financial things because I'm understanding I'm growing.
hmm,
You can tell me that a
hmm,
while ago, especially when I experienced, layoff and all that stuff years ago. I'm like, oh, I need the money, need money. Now I tell people I can't do it. What you mean I can't do it? Because it's not abiding on the direction I'm going. It's not abiding on who I am as a person. And one, it's not worth my time or my money.
mm.
My time is
Period.
priceless. You can't get that back. So if it's something that's going to take away time that is actually not pushing me, I'm not going to do it because I know my worth. But I had to get to that level. And I'm still going to that level, understanding when people told me, why are you doing this? Coach Perry, I thought you was doing this and that. Yeah, but I'm doing this now. because I'm growing.
Hmm.
Staying stagnant. At least I'm growing because I'm trying new things.
You better grow, because if you ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time. And it's constant. It's constant growth. So I'm just so excited though, Mike, just for the growth, just myself, for the many things that we're doing just in general. And people that are watching now that is understanding and leaning in saying, hey, call it your growth season. Let this
Mm-hmm.
start be your growth season of understanding the things. And as Mike said, your growth season includes you understanding you put a seed in there and you got to water it. That means water with affirmations, water with positive energy, water it with positive networking with people. Like I could push that so much. I didn't understand that at first, Mike, but just networking and getting around the right people, it makes a hell of a difference.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got to check that web. You got to check that web because as I call it web, it's a circle, right? My analogy is the web because the circle, there may be 2 points on a circle for my athletes. If you run track, or for my car enthusiast motorcycle, you can be on a circle track and two vehicles, two individuals on that may never come in contact with each other. But in a web, all intertwined, everything's interconnected. So figure out how to use your web appropriately. And as we're talking, grow in your season, and remember to extend yourself grace with growth, grace with growth, grace with growth, and keep pushing.
Grace for growth. Yeah, I heard that. Like that's another just gem right there. Grace for growth.
Boom. That's it. That's the post.
Like it really. That's the post. And promise you, you're gonna see me post it. Grace with growth. Because you gotta
Grace
give
with growth.
yourself that. Like you're gonna have those hard times that you're gonna have to say, yes, I put all this work, I put all this time, but I'm still not there. But grace. You
Hmm.
gotta do that grace with growth. Man, you guys, we just giving y'all bits and pieces because we just want y'all to know what's going to jump down in 2023. Like with the things that we got going on, we just want to come in, be straight, cut to it so y'all can understand and see all the craziness that behind everything that I deal with on it. But it's just amazing, just the love for Coach Mike. Man, he is amazing. And like they say, before
Erica
going
Test.
about what you're doing, just I want to give you your flowers while you're here, Mike. Man, y'all,
Oh,
Coach
thank you.
Mike Gaines, all
And
social
I
media.
want to give you your flowers, but first a test.
No,
Can
we're
you
not
do
gonna do that test.
it? Can you do
I can't even be serious. Like he finna do something. No. Mm-mm.
it? You gonna leave me hanging?
Oh, I
Pound me
thought you
up.
said
Pound
okay.
me up. No, pound me up.
Okay. One, two,
Pound
three.
me up. Stop thinking about it. Don't second guess yourself. Don't second guess yourself right there.
See, he always see that. See, y'all probably was on a roll, looking all smooth and grow.
Oh man.
Yeah, we learning. Well, I'm learning my left and the right and all that great stuff when we on social media. Since we doing several different things, it's like here, there, yeah,
That
yeah,
flip screen.
right,
and
left,
and for
all that.
people watching, right, because we want to give you gems too. You may be that next person, you want to start your YouTube channel, you want to start something or be on video more, even though you may be terrified. And so that's one of the things, you when you're doing presenting like this, you flip your screen so that you can read stuff, right, so that you can read talkers versus doers instead of why is that backwards.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, just the little things, and when you flip that, the direction is different, right? So everything changes, right? My right is my left. My
Right.
left is my right.
Mhm.
So there you go.
Those
That's a
great.
little behind the scenes for y'all.
I know. Like I said, you can't help but to have fun. When you get the right web and the right people, and you're doing things, and not only is it fun, but you're doing things to make a positive impact within the community and with people, and that's what we're doing with Talkers First Doors. Man, like I said, just Mike is just amazing. Just tell the folks first, what are some things you got going on going to the new year? Because
Oh man. I mean, a lot. No, one of the big focuses for me in the new year is really just focusing on building some things that I've been almost kind of putting on the back burner. You know, the speaking part of my business, and like as you said, networking is always important. So doing more of that, and I've been the end of the year strong with interviews and different things, and just connecting. So that's a focus, and of course, I enjoy to the fullest being a facilitator for Certified Life Coach Institute. So it's always, it's always reading up and
Yeah,
increasing knowledge there to share. So yeah, growth. That's
yeah,
what's up for 23, right? And that's what we're talking about. So it's all about growth. And thank you for all you do as well. We need to hear that in this time where we're talking about a lot going on and people are dealing with some different things. Thank you to you for all that you do. And my 4Ks, keep going, keep grinding, keep showing, keep shining. And for all of you that are watching, right? Thank you. What?
yes.
Thank you. What? I ain't doing nothing right now. Yes, you are. You're existing. And we need you. If you're seeing our face right now, we need you. Because if you enjoy this, we need you to tell somebody. We need you to share the positivity that you're getting from us. So thank you as well for being here. You are appreciated. We see you, we feel you, do you, be you.
Be you, definitely. As he said, yes, we want to thank you guys, all our gracious, grateful individuals of Talkers First Doors, just hanging in there with us, liking, sharing, dropping it at YouTube. We want you guys to do more this year. But like I said, it's not just for us, it's because we want to pull and push that positive energy upon you guys as well. So we always hope and pray that you guys receive something from us, even during the silly times that is very inspirational and it's going to keep you going because who knows when you may become part of one of our well or we need to connect in some form of fashion. So we want that. So that's just how, we work intertwined of just believing positivity and positive energy among us. And as he said, I know he got so many great things that he got going on. So I'm just trying to stay as close as possible before he get real huge and on the top of the hill to Mike James because I
No, no,
just
no, no. We already on the hill.
yeah.
You
So
on the
okay,
hill. I'm on the hill. We on the hill. See, that's what we're gonna do in 23 as well. We're gonna affirm. Talking about
affirm.
earlier, we're talking about earlier, the millionaires and the people. You are a millionaire. You are
Already.
successful. You are great. You are there. You have the following. You have the impact. Look, don't get me started. Just know, affirm yourself, people. I want all of you to Michael Jackson that thing in 23.
See,
I want you
see,
to look at the man, at the woman in the mirror.
I be trying so much, but he be so serious though with his silliness on it. With the great things again. So we affirming. I'm definitely already on the hill with him of the great things. And like you said, man, we got so much going. Be on the lookout. Talkers First Doors. Kind of if you call some of the past ones, new colors out. You're gonna see pushing a lot of that. Want you to grab your apparel. Yes, grab it, grab it. We want you to grab your apparel. Talkers versus duels, because it's not about talking about it, it's about doing it. And this is for, whether or not if it's something job related, relationship related, school related, and you just said, I'm tired of talking about this. I'm ready to grow and go to that next level. You are a door, and we want you to be in a door. We want you to be in that growth door season where all you thinking about is how are you gonna do what's next to continue your growth. We've talked long enough. Everything has happened up under the moon and the sun. We talked about pandemic. We talked about recession. You are still here. So it's time for you to do. And that's what we want from sweatshirts, hoodies, sweatsuits coming out. We want you to be that doer. We want you to spread that positive energy to people and let them know you ain't talking no more. It's all about doing it. Like, ain't no more talking. That could just your post can just be different colors of the shirts, so people already know you just doing it. Shameless plug on it. And we do peer apparel. You're gonna catch that out on IG. We just finna start adding more stuff and pictures and things on their IG. Also, we got a Shopify coming up and everything on that nature, but we're already taking orders and giving out, gifts. So if you want something before Christmas, let us know because we are here, or the New Year's, according to when you see this. But that's one of the major things with Talkers First Door. That's myself. Thank God for the continuous growth that everything has just been pouring into me. I'm doing more of my speaking too, Mike. So uh, that's been huge for me. As I kind of told you guys about redirection and GPS, it was some of the things that I love talking in closed areas, but I'm getting better. That's the funny thing. I'm an actual extrovert, but I'm getting better of just being around people and talking. I've been blessed to go in a lot of different schools this year, working with a project in there. So that has really opened me up and seeing that, although so many people say different things in areas, I love the youth. The youth is very dear to me. That's where I feel power of growth. That's where I feel like, Mike, that I'm doing just an amazing job because we know these youth leaders are going to be our senators and congressmen and etc. So I've really found my passion as I had to transition again into loving and coaching and speaking to the youth. So that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at now with the mental performance coach. The great thing about mental performance and the things that I'm teaching my babies apply to life, how
Mm-hmm.
you do everything. But really and truly, being a coach for over 10 and a half years, being a collegiate athlete, it was like I had to tune back into me and say, what do I love without a shadow of doubt of passion? I love talking and helping people. But when we're talking about sports, basketball, and the youth, I could talk about that in my sleep. So that just has been a great thing with me and getting back together with a couple of athletes that was dear to me because I coached them in middle school and some of them tore their ACL and etc. So now I am speaking and coaching them through that, through the mental part that is so hard that a lot of us as parents don't understand and coaches don't understand, with that mental health. It is so huge,
Yeah.
especially upon our young adult athletes. No matter what you're doing in school, I tell athletes don't include just basketball. It can be band, it can be a certain group that you're in. You are a student athlete in some form of fashion if you're doing any extracurricular activities. And it has a mental part that plays a huge part on our babies. And I experienced it. I experienced the depression,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety, of feeling not liked about some of the peers, especially when you're not winning games, but also
Right.
not reaching that level, that potential to other players, not being able to communicate with some of my coaches, and that's hindering my growth for something great that I wanted to do in basketball. So that has just been my turn. So you guys will see a lot more of that going into the new year of me really focusing. I had to drop some mentors and coaches and say, okay, I understand what you said you feel, but I prayed, I looked over, and this is where I'm at. I love the youth. Mike know that just even with the profit is just I'm getting excited now. I just want to jump up like
Hey, well, you
yeah,
gonna have to jump up the next service because you
I know.
keeping people to Wednesday Bible study and Sunday
I, I,
service then
I
let
know,
out.
I know, Mike. I just get so excited. He had to cut me off because I know I actually got a big meeting and I know he got some stuff too. But that's where it's at. Talkers versus Doors. You guys catch us on all social media platforms. Apparel will be out. We will have some more. And also, if you are a doer, hit us. Inbox, DM. We would love to get you on just to talk about some amazing things that you're doing in the community. But I am your girl, Coach Perry, all social media platforms, aka Coach Perry Speaks. And my brother,
Boom, and I'm your boy, Coach Mike James. Everywhere, hit me up. We want to hear from you, and y'all know what it is. We don't talk about it. We do it.
mm,
Grow. You better grow. We'll see y'all next time. Another episode. Peace.